Hello everyone, this is Kelly with I Own Me times 3. I am outside of Taylor, Snowflake area in Arizona, which is north of Sholo. I thought I would show you some footage today of some also different terrain and its beauty. There is a wind farm out here that produces electricity for some areas, little towns in this area. There are farms. This is a very rural area of Arizona in Navajo County. And today, the wind gusts are, I would say, about 40 to 45 miles an hour. And there is a lot of blowing dust and some dust devils popping up out here. Again, this is I Own Me times 3. I own my thoughts, actions, and results. So while we're traveling, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to set up the camera for you on the dashboard. Having a little bit of trouble here, y'all, but it'll be okay. Just hang with me, and I'll do a narrative much like the video going up to over to Springerville from McNary. So we are on Highway 77 South, and you can already see that the terrain is very different than when we went from McNary out to Springerville. Out in that direction, there's more, I would say, higher mountains and different type of foliage on that side of the White Mountains. And again, it is very gusty, so I apologize if the sound goes in and out a little bit. People tend to speed down Highway 77. And just to give you an overview of the driving behaviors that you'll see in this area, I would be very cautious, especially if you're traveling through here at night. This is what we referred to on the right-hand side of Highway 77, La Mesa. That means table. This little hill is shaped, it's very flat and dense in the middle, but it's shaped like a table. So, like on the Hopi Reservation, they have an area where my husband Speedo, his father was from. He was full-blood Hopi, and they called his father's area of the reservation Second Mesa. So desert-like in this area. I was thinking of filming more like right outside of Holbrook, but there was a driver in front of me that was really having difficulty with towing his little vintage camper trailer. So I really needed to focus on that trailer. It could have come loose from the wind gust, and due to the lack of aerodynamics, I believe that trailer was a 60s model. So it's very important for me to keep my attention focused on that situation. But one day I am planning to go further west toward Flagstaff on Interstate 40, and we will take a look at that as well. If you look to the right out here, you'll see the what we call the wind turbines that are generating electricity for several of these rural areas outside of Snowflake. We are just north of Snowflake at this moment, and if you'll notice, the terrain is very different. Excuse me. I just wanted to make sure that the camera was facing the correct direction, and it is. A lot of land is up for sale out here. It's called off-grid living, which many of us are familiar with. Again, the terrain is very desert-like in this area. So a lot of farmers in the area are able to grow crops in this soil. So if you were to go in on land.com or Zillow, they will show you, if you plug in ranches near Snowflake, Arizona, or St. John's, Arizona, Apache County, Arizona, Navajo County, Arizona, there is a lot of land up for sale, and I have seen like 29-acre parcels, almost 30 acres, up for sale for less than $30,000. You would have to contact the county to find out what the restrictions are, and how long you have to put in a septic and water. Some people who live in the Concho area, which is west of Snowflake, have their water hauled in. And I'm not sure what they're doing about septic. It may be composting. I know my husband, Speedo, had an outhouse. He was living off grid on the reservation. So there are many different variations of how people get their water, run their electric, and take care of their sewer needs. Some people have outdoor showers. There are services out here that you can hire. So much money you want to spend or if you want to DIY. It's up to you. However, in some areas there are restrictions, as in time, the method, and I would say the level of difficulty for you. How much are you willing to put into it? The more work you do yourself, the less costly it will be, as in with anything, really. And nowadays, everyone is looking for ways to save some money, especially with layoffs that are going on right now. With the federal government shutdown of the last 3 days, there are going to be more furloughs. So we are facing the same challenges that we were facing during COVID. I saw at Planet Fitness this morning that analysts are saying now that there are just as many layoffs at this time as there was in 2020 during COVID. So, I know a lot of people are stressed out about this, and is why it's so important to support farmers markets and farmers. There's plenty of farms in this area, people growing chickens, hunting big game, fishing. Snowflake does have some farmers markets, so does Concho, St. John's, Sholo, Linden. All these areas are offering food that they have grown by their own hand. That means the old-fashioned way, the old-school way. So we are still on Highway 77 going south, and we are about to approach the Snowflake city limits. Snowflake schools have a decent school district grade as well. If you would like to learn more about grades that school districts in this area have been given in the 23-24 school year, 24-25 school year, you can go on the Arizona Department of Education website, and there should be a link in there that you can go to look at how the school districts are graded in Arizona. I know that Holbrook had an A- last year. I believe Sholo had an A. Not sure about Snowflake. All you need to do is type in the town's name, and it should pop up with the information for you. I know that when I was substitute teaching in Holbrook last year, Superintendent Corporage, he is a very hands-on superintendent. When I was interviewing for a substitute teacher position, he was the one that interviewed me. I was also interviewed by Educational Services Incorporated, who is a third-party vendor and handles the hiring for the school district. And they do the hiring for Holbrook, Concho, St. John's and Sanders in northeastern Arizona. And even though they had hired me and brought me on board, he wanted to interview me as well. So I went through two interview processes, and I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed substitute teaching in Holbrook. I have substitute taught in Show Low, Pinetop Lakeside, which is Blue Ridge. I've substitute taught in White River. And out of the school districts that I have substitute taught for through ESI, I think because of the level, here's one of the branches on the right here. I think that Holbrook is my number one choice for substitute teaching. For the school year of, this is 25-26, of 24-25, Holbrook was graded at an A-, which was the highest, I believe the highest score in the state for that school year. So again, if you want to look up more information about how the school districts are graded, you can go to Arizona Department of Education, and you can find out all types of information there. So we are now approaching the town of Snowflake. This is a small rural Mormon town. The people are very kind, thoughtful, and passionate about learning, respectful of other cultures. This area has Navajo, Hispanics, Apaches, Caucasian, and I'm not sure about Asian. I haven't seen any Asians in Snowflake yet, but they're very welcoming people, and the school district does well here as well. As you can see, there's plenty of businesses which come from, I'll use the word diverse backgrounds. There's solar, there's auto glass, there's restaurants, school district, plenty of restaurants, hair salons. There's Clayton Homes, Jiffy Lube, State Farm Insurance. They pretty much have a balanced blend of different businesses here, and services, so that you're able to get your needs met. There is a location for Northland Pioneer College in Snowflake, and we'll see it on the left here in a little bit. APS is out here for electric. turn the camera a little bit so you can see the left-hand side of the road somewhat. Lady of the Snow Catholic Church up here on the left. They have a flea market up here on Saturdays, and they have bingo night. This is a very involved community. There is something for everyone. As you can see, Snowflake is kind of hilly. Big mature trees. I'm a tree hugger, so I always love driving through here on 77. There is the Northland Pioneer College campus, Snowflake. This is the Performing Arts Center, where the choir and the orchestra hold concerts. Here is where they have the flea market on Saturdays, in this parking lot on the left. It is lush and green in this area. Just beautiful countryside. Very laid back, low key. There's a Walmart here too. The next town we're going into is called Taylor. This is referred to as Snowflake-Taylor. A sawmill, which is a major employer. The cornfield to your left. This is a local farmer. It's their corn is called Taylor sweet corn, and it is delicious. For you Sonic lovers, there you go. There's a mom and pop restaurant on the left up here, referred to as Trappers. I had been told for years that I should go in there and have a chicken fried steak breakfast. We're about to come up on it. And I'm just gonna pull over to the side here in the middle lane. This is Trappers, famous burgers and fries and pies. And the chicken fried steak breakfast is just delicious. Well, everyone, we're about to come to the end of Taylor. There's Windhaven Legacy Square. I'm going to pull over here and talk to you for another minute or two. I've got to find a safe spot to pull over. Okay, so here we are. So there's a lot of news out there about this economy and job loss and it being tough and rough on families to find affordable housing. I'm in that boat myself. What I decided to do, I mean, you're talking to someone who has a lot of pride and likes to do things on her own. But now that my son and I are back in each other's lives after 6 long years, I decided to utilize some resources in my area. One of those resources is low-income housing through HUD. I know there's some rumors out there about Section 8, but I just learned day before yesterday, Section 8 has not been touched. If you are in a stationary area where you've been hovering for a while, look up your resources. I just found out yesterday that after 5 months of being on the HUD housing waiting list, that my income is indeed low enough to qualify. That is an option. Some of these properties will let you piggyback off of their electricity and you just pay your portion of the bill and everything else is taken care of. You can shop thrift stores for furniture. I plan to go to Veterans Village, where I volunteer in Lakeside, Arizona, and buy just a few pieces of furniture and things that I will need for the apartment. So not only am I gaining, but I'm giving back to men and women who have sacrificed so much for our safety and our freedom. Give of yourself and you will receive in return. I own me times 3. I own my thoughts, actions, and results. Peace, much love. Be well and stay safe out there. Bye now.